Hello and welcome to pdfsupply.com. Today we're going to be testing a 9070 input analog module. Reads 0 to 10 volts or 4 to 20 milliamp. This is an IC697ALG230. And then for more information about what I have in front of you, this is all in an IC697 CHS750 5-slot rack. And from left to right we have a IC697 PWR 711 power supply. A CPU is the IC697 CPX772. And I just had a former test of an ALG320, but we're going to ignore that for this test. This is just on the input. So what I've done in Prophecy Machine Edition is I've configured the physical information that you see here into the software. And I have it set up to test, if you go through all the channels 1 through 8 of the ALG230, I have everything set to read voltage, 0 to 10 volts. And I have a DC battery. This is DC voltage that we're going to be testing it with. And I've got it in run mode. So I'm going to go ahead with the test. So what I want to do is go down on my reference view tables and then select default tables. And the first selection is AI, Analog Input. And that's where I can go to read the information coming from the ALG. So what I have here is an accessory battery. This is a 9070 battery. It puts out 3 volts. And depending on how you're scaling, I have the scaling set up in the default values, which is a high of 10,000 and a low of negative 10,000 in this particular case. And then in the engineering units, I have it as a 32,000 of high and negative 32,000. So this is actually negative 10 to positive 10 volt DC. So the channels are, channel 1 is screws 3 and 5, channel 2, 4 and 6, channel 3, 11 and 13, 4 is 12 and 14, 5 is 19 and 21, 6 is 20 and 22, 7 is 27 and 29, and 8 is 28 and 30. And that will hold true also for milliamp when we do test that. So I'm going to go ahead and place this on there, and immediately I'm getting a reading of 6.9 or 6,947. It fluctuates a little bit. And then I go to the next terminal. And what I'm looking for as I go from terminal to terminal, more importantly, is that the value stays the same from channel to channel. Since they're all configured the same, they should all be reading exactly the same. That's very important. Channel 3, channel 4, channel 5, channel 6, channel 7, still reading good, and channel 8. So we're using a 3-volt battery. This is just for a quick test. So we have another power supply here that's adjustable from 0 to 48 volts. You don't obviously want to go that high, but you can kind of slowly turn up the voltage as it gets to 10 volts and test each channel thoroughly all the way through the whole spectrum of the voltages from 0 to 10 volt DC. And I do recommend that. If you think you're having a problem with the processor, you should definitely do that. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is go into Prophecy Machine Edition, and I want to check my milliamp readings. As you can see here, I have jumpers that are placed corresponding to where the jumpers are recommended on this door card. So jumper 1 would be 1 and 3, 2 would be 2 and 4, 3 would be 11 and 9, 4 would be 10 and 12, 5 would be 17 and 19, 6 is 18 and 20, 7 is 25 and 27, and 8 is 26 and 28. And you can see that here. I have these copper wires that have been bent and put in place as a jumper, and you won't get a value or a reading on milliamp without that. So just please keep that in mind. I'm going to go to channel 1. And under range, I'm going to switch it to 4 to 20 milliamp, and that goes for all channels. Okay. Now once that's done, I'm going to go back into Target, to Online Commands, to the Clear window, and I want to clear controller and I/O fault tables. As you can also see, I've also put the processor into stop mode to allow me to re-download this information. So, and once that's done, I'm going to download and run. It's going to ask you what exactly you want to download. In this particular case, as it comes up here, it's just hardware configuration and logic. So the first two selections, none of the other selections, please. Once this build is complete, we'll be able to test this with, I have a milliamp generator that you can't see, and it has two probes, positive and negative. What's nice about this generator is I'm able to, it is a 4 to 20 milliamp generator, and I'm able to turn a dial so that I can go up and down the whole spectrum of 4 to 20 milliamps. And then same thing, the locations of the channels are the exact same locations as they are for when you're reading voltage DC. So I'm going to go ahead and place this on here, and I'm going to dial it up and down, see if I can see the whole spectrum. Up and down. And the channels are good. Okay. Channel 7, just about done. And last channel 8. Okay, so this is working perfectly. As I've stated before on the ALG230, that occasionally the OK light may be off when you first power it up, but then it comes on when the CPU is configured properly, or maybe it's on the whole time for you. But it's not always a solid indicator that if it doesn't come on immediately, it doesn't always mean that there's something wrong with it right off the bat. But if you go through this test and you go through all these readings and your readings are not consistent, and the Prophecy software is configured so that it should all be the same, then there's definitely a problem with it. And then, of course, if you never get an OK light on, there's probably also a problem. So that is something that we do repair here quite often. We have repairs, new and remanufactured products, exchanges, and same-day shipping. So if that's something that interests you, please see us at pdfsupply.com. Thank you.